Power does not ask to be understood, it demands to be obeyed. The moment they need your silence more than your approval, you have won. I'm not here to entertain. I'm not here to please. I am here to tell you what others are afraid to say. The world is not ruled by fairness, nor guided by morality. It is governed by perception, power, and necessity. Those who fail to understand this truth live at the mercy of others. They cling to ideals, hoping for approval, terrified of rejection. And then they wonder why they are stepped on. I have watched empires rise and fall, not by accident but by design. I have advised men who ruled nations, and I have seen them destroyed by the very people they trusted. You think you are safe because you are good. That is your first mistake. Goodness without strength is a liability. Power without strategy is self-destruction. This is not a book of philosophy. This is a manual for dominance, for survival, for rising above the reach of enemies, betrayals, and chaos. To be untouchable is not a matter of fate. It is a decision, a formula, a set of principles learned through pain, exile, manipulation, and war. You want to be free? Then learn how to be feared. Learn how to be respected. Learn how to never be ignored. I will not give you comfort. I will give you clarity. And if you apply what you read here, you will no longer seek permission to exist. You will become the storm others prepare for. Let the weak chase love. Let the naive chase peace. You, however, are here for something greater. You are here to become untouchable. Now listen carefully. Chapter 1. Exile taught me the nature of power. When I was cast from Florence, I learned that loyalty is weaker than leverage. Friends fled, allies grew silent. I sat in my farm penning letters to princes. From that lowly place, I observed the world without flattery. And I understood, power is not held by titles but by those who cannot be replaced. To become untouchable, be the one they fear to lose, not the one begging to stay. Exile stripped away illusions. When you have nothing, you see everything. I saw how power flows not through promises but necessity. Influence belongs to the indispensable. In politics, in war, in business, those who cannot be ignored shape decisions. Those who rely on loyalty are gambling. Leverage is not affection, it's function. It is what you do that makes them need you. You must make yourself vital, not visible. You must become the tool no one else can wield, the insight no one else can offer, the solution no one else can provide. I did not have wealth or armies, but I had strategy. And because my mind could shape outcomes, they returned to my words, even after they cast me out. This is the real game. They will betray you, yes. They will exile you. But they will return when they realize no one else can replace you. When they come back, it is not friendship, they return out of need. That is the first mark of becoming untouchable. Create a dependency. Not on your presence, but on your capability. Don't announce your worth, demonstrate it. Quietly. Repeatedly. Until even your enemies require you. If they can remove you without cost, they will. If your absence increases their chaos, they will fear removing you. Stop chasing acceptance. That path is for fools. Instead, become the thing that shifts the balance when removed. That is real influence. And that is what exile taught me. Chapter 2. Love is fleeting, fear endures. I once advised a prince, it is safer to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. I knew men. They love for pleasure. They fear for survival. One is fickle, the other eternal. When you anchor your authority in affection, you give others the weapon of your downfall. But when your presence commands respect, when absence feels like chaos, you become essential, untouchable. People praise love because it flatters the ego, but it is a fragile form of control. It depends on constant maintenance, emotional alignment, and mutual satisfaction. When those things fade, as they always do, so does your influence. Fear, however, bypasses sentiment. It targets the core, self-preservation. That instinct is older than language and deeper than love. Do not confuse cruelty with fear. The goal is not brutality. The goal is consequence. Let your silence feel dangerous. Let your disapproval echo longer than your praise. When people understand that crossing you means cost, they think twice. That hesitation is power. Fear, properly cultivated, is not loud. It is quiet and consistent. It is the predictable weight of your standards. When people know you will not tolerate disrespect, they adjust permanently. But when you rely on love, you must constantly perform. Smile. Please. Conform. And even then, you risk betrayal the moment someone else makes them feel better. To become untouchable, condition the room to shift when you speak. You don't need to raise your voice. Your tone should signal outcome. People respond to pressure. Your authority should be built on what happens if they lose your protection, your alliance, or your approval. You don't need to be feared by everyone, only by the right ones. The gatekeepers, the decision makers, the enforcers. Their fear becomes your armor. And in a world where betrayal is currency, fear is the only form of loyalty you can trust. Chapter 3. Reputation is a sword, not a pillow. I did not write to charm. I wrote to arm. And so must you. Your name must echo in rooms you've never entered. Let them say, he is ruthless. Let them whisper, he never forgets. Your reputation must walk ahead of you, clearing the path like a sharpened blade. It must protect you when you sleep and fight for you when you're silent. Reputation is a strategic tool. Most people treat it like a personality trait. It is not. It is a controlled narrative. It is psychological warfare. People must think twice before disrespecting you. That thought, that pause, that uncertainty, that is where your protection lies. To build this kind of reputation, you must align your behavior with long-term perception. Never make empty threats. If you say something, follow through. One act of consistency breeds 10 layers of fear. Let your actions create myths. You don't need to correct rumors, weaponize them. If they say you're cold, let it serve you. If they call you calculated, sharpen the blade. Reputation should feel like presence. Even when you're not in the room, your name should shape the discussion. They should consider your opinion before making decisions, even when you weren't invited. That's the mark of power. And it doesn't come from kindness. It comes from consequence. Silence, when paired with reputation, becomes louder than noise. When people don't know where you stand but fear what you might do, they behave cautiously. That is control. That is leverage. Don't waste time trying to be liked. Be remembered. Be respected. Be necessary. Your reputation should be your first weapon and your last defense. It wins wars before they begin. It silences threats before they speak. And most importantly, it separates the untouchable from the expendable. Chapter 4. Sentiment is the weak man's poison. In my time, I saw rulers undone by their feelings. One fell for mercy, another for beauty. Both were buried. I have no hatred for love, but I despise the fool who lets it govern. Sentiment is a fog. It blurs vision, distorts strategy. You must feel, yes, but never more than you calculate. To be untouchable, let the heart beat, but let the mind rule. Sentiment is not a strength when it overrides reason. I've watched men destroy empires because they couldn't separate personal emotion from tactical reality. The moment your feelings take command, your judgment is compromised. The world doesn't slow down for your heartbreak. It doesn't give you time to process your rage or pain. While you're busy feeling, someone else is planning. Sentiment causes hesitation, and hesitation in critical moments is a liability. That's how men lose battles, negotiations, relationships, and control. You don't need to be emotionless. You need to be emotionally disciplined. Know what you feel, but don't act on it impulsively. Store it, study it, then act with full awareness. If someone provokes you, stay calm. If someone flatters you, remain distant. Emotional reactions are predictable, and predictable behavior can be manipulated. The man who can be easily angered, seduced, or guilt-tripped is the easiest to defeat. Always remember this: your enemies want you emotional. They want you reactive. It makes their job easier. The moment you act out of sentiment rather than clarity, you surrender your power. You lose leverage. Your control fades. Let others cry, panic, or beg. You stay sharp. You stay unshaken. People trust stability, not drama. Respect is earned through consistency, not outbursts. When you feel too much, step away from decision-making. Feel in private, act in public with precision. Sentiment is personal. Strategy is professional. Don't confuse the two. In critical moments, you must learn to override the heart's voice with the clarity of the mind. To be untouchable, don't be the man who feels nothing. Be the man who feels deeply but never lets it interfere with what must be done. Chapter 5. Silence is often louder than speech. While others spoke, I listened. When they revealed intentions, I noted weaknesses. When I finally spoke, my words carried the weight of 100 silences. Most men are desperate to be heard. Be different. Be mysterious. Say less. Let your silence speak of depth, of strategy, of danger. The untouchable man speaks when necessary, and never without purpose. Silence is not weakness. It's a strategic tool, and most people underestimate its power. When you remain quiet, others reveal themselves. They fill the silence with their fears, their desires, their insecurities. In every conversation, observe more than you participate. You learn more from listening than from talking. This isn't about being shy, It's about being calculated. The untouchable man does not speak to be liked. He speaks to direct, to command, to influence. When you speak rarely, people notice when you do. Your voice carries weight because it isn't handed out freely. Let others waste their breath trying to be heard or validated. You don't need validation, you need leverage. Your silence makes people uncomfortable. Use that discomfort to your advantage. In silence, you gain time. Time to read body language. Time to understand motives. Time to measure threats. People underestimate quiet men. They assume you're passive or unsure. Let them think that. It lowers their guard. And when you strike, verbally, strategically, or physically, it hits harder. Never show all your cards. Keep your intentions wrapped in ambiguity. Make them guess. The fear of what you might say is more powerful than anything you could say out loud. Don't interrupt. Don't overshare. Don't explain more than necessary. Let your results speak. Let your presence speak. The more you speak, the more chances you give others to twist your words or find weaknesses. Speak with clarity, not with excess. In a world full of noise, be the signal. Stand out by being calm, composed, and minimal. Control the room with presence, not performance. Let people talk themselves into corners while you collect data. Let them underestimate your silence until it becomes the one thing they fear most. When you finally speak, make it matter. Be brief. Be sharp. Be final. Chapter 6. Control perception or be controlled by it. Perception is reality for the masses. I crafted images, not lies but impressions. The fox must appear noble. The lion must appear wise. Are you cruel? Then appear just. Are you ambitious? Cloak it in humility. Do not let the world define you. Define what the world must see. Untouchable men master illusions without losing sight of the truth. No one sees you as you really are. They see the version of you that you allow them to see. And if you don't control that version, someone else will. People don't care about the truth. They care about what looks true. Master this, or you'll forever be a prisoner of someone else's narrative. Don't let the world paint you. Hold the brush. This isn't deception. This is management. Every successful leader, public figure, or strategist understands this. You must build your image deliberately, even if it's simple. Are you intimidating? Soften your voice in public. Are you planning a power move? Appear calm, even disinterested. The gap between who you are and who they think you are is where your real power exists. Never allow your flaws to be visible. Appear composed even when under pressure. Let your enemies think you're distracted when you're fully alert. Perception is camouflage, and in this world, camouflage is survival. If you appear too strong, you become a target. If you appear too weak, you become prey. But if you appear unreadable, you become a problem they can't solve. Control perception in every area: how you speak, how you dress, how you move. Every detail is a message. Do not look for validation from others. Control what they assume. The moment you care too much about how others define you, you lose control over the image you're building. Keep your personal life inaccessible. Let people know only what you want them to know. Perception management is a lifelong discipline. It requires observation, adaptation, and self-awareness. Be flexible with your image but fixed in your core. Use perception to open doors, command rooms, and avoid traps. Let your true self remain hidden behind a wall of strategic impressions. That's how you survive. That's how you win. And that's how you stay untouchable. Chapter 7. Always appear useful, even to your enemies. Usefulness isn't about being nice. It's about being critical to the system. If the machine breaks down without you, you become untouchable. I've worked with people who couldn't stand me, but they needed what I brought. That's why I stayed in the room while others were removed. When people need you, they protect you, even reluctantly. In any hierarchy, you have two options: be replaceable or be relied upon. If you're replaceable, you're expendable. If you're relied upon, people will tolerate your flaws because they can't afford your absence. This principle doesn't require you to be liked. It requires you to be essential. Being useful means mastering a skill others don't want to learn. It means solving problems without needing recognition. Become the one who can do what no one else wants to touch. The man who can clean up a disaster will always be called back, even if everyone dislikes him. Position yourself in such a way that if you're gone, systems break down. Be the one who holds the thread. Keep knowledge others overlook. This doesn't mean doing everything. It means doing what matters most, quietly and consistently. Let people wonder how things still work and let them realize it's because of you. Sometimes the people in power are insecure. If they feel you're a threat, they'll try to push you out, unless your absence threatens their control. That's your edge. You don't have to dominate them. Just be the one who makes their power functional. Be the fuel under the engine. Don't advertise your usefulness. Let them discover it through experience. Solve problems quickly, but don't always explain how. Let your value be felt before it's defined. Once people experience the chaos that comes with losing you, they'll fight to keep you close, even if they hate you. And here's the key: being useful to your enemies buys you time. That time gives you leverage. That leverage gives you choice. It gives you space to maneuver, gather resources, or even take control. Just because someone dislikes you doesn't mean they won't serve your long-term interest. Chapter 8. Mercy without discipline breeds rebellion. If people don't respect your rules, they won't respect your forgiveness either. I've seen leaders fail because they thought kindness would buy them loyalty. It doesn't. In fact, it does the opposite. Without discipline, mercy feels like a loophole. People take advantage of it. They assume there are no consequences. Every structure begins with order. Without rules, generosity means nothing. If people believe they can disobey you and still be rewarded, you've lost control. And once control is lost, it's nearly impossible to get back. That's how rebellion starts, when people sense weakness where there should be structure. To avoid this, set the tone early. Establish authority. Make it clear that respect is non-negotiable. That doesn't mean being cruel, it means being consistent. People respond to firmness. When they know what's expected and what happens when lines are crossed, they become more disciplined on their own. Mercy has to be earned. It cannot be the default. If everyone gets second chances without accountability, your word becomes meaningless. Leadership is about balance. You must enforce rules before you grant exceptions. You must establish fear before you extend friendship. Forgiveness without fear is misinterpreted as fear itself. You should never let people feel like they can disobey you and still keep your favor. That dynamic creates future enemies. They'll think you're easy to manipulate. They'll test you more. Eventually they'll revolt, because they were never taught to respect your limits. I've forgiven people, but never without reminding them who's in charge. The apology must be tied to submission. The pardon must come with consequence. That way, mercy becomes a tool of reinforcement, not a loophole of escape. Weakness invites predators. It tells them you're prey. Even if you mean well, soft leadership makes you a target. Instead, establish a system where strength is respected. Once that's done, you can introduce mercy as a rare privilege, not a right. Chapter 9. Adapt like the river but strike like the storm. Adaptation isn't a luxury, it's survival. If you don't know how to shift, you'll be broken by those who do. Life doesn't respect your rigidity. It doesn't care about your plans. The world changes without asking you. You either move with it or get destroyed by it. I've seen powerful people fall simply because they refused to adjust. They stayed loyal to people, places, or plans that no longer served them. That's not noble, it's foolish. If your environment shifts, your strategy must shift too. Otherwise, you're just a strong man trapped in a broken frame. I learned to change direction quickly. If a deal fell through, I created a new angle. If an ally turned into a threat, I reclassified them and used them differently. If my method stopped working, I found a new method. The goal never changed, but the path did. That's the art of survival. To be untouchable, you need to be like water. Water never argues with obstacles. It flows around them. It doesn't complain, it adapts. That flexibility is power. It allows you to remain active when others freeze or collapse. Flexibility gives you access, and access gives you options. But being like water isn't enough. When the time comes, you must also become the storm. You have to strike, hard, fast, without hesitation. Waiting too long can cost you. Being too peaceful can make you invisible. So strike when you see the opening. Be overwhelming when it matters. Don't strike all the time. That becomes predictable. Let people get used to your calm, your flow. Then, when they least expect it, overwhelm them. That contrast creates fear. It shows that your silence isn't weakness, it's calculation. That's what makes people think twice before crossing you. Your ability to adapt protects you. Your ability to strike defines you. Master both and you'll never be controlled. Chapter 10. Betrayal is inevitable. Be the one who betrays first. The longer you work with people, the more patterns you notice. The biggest one? Everyone is loyal until they're not. People betray for reasons you'll never see coming. Money, opportunity, fear, jealousy, influence. Sometimes just boredom. It's not a question of if, it's when. That's why I stopped getting emotional about betrayal. I started expecting it. And when you expect it, you start planning for it. You stop giving people power they don't need. You stop exposing your vulnerabilities. You become more surgical with trust. You reduce surprises. Eventually, I learned the ultimate truth. The best way to deal with betrayal is to do it first. That doesn't mean being ruthless for no reason. It means recognizing when someone is a threat and acting before they realize it. Withdraw your trust before they misuse it. Disarm them before they strike. This is strategy, not malice. People will call it cold. Let them. Cold people survive. Warm people get backstabbed. If someone shifts their tone, watch closely. If they hesitate when they once supported you, take note. Small cracks always reveal bigger plans. Never ignore patterns. Sometimes betrayal is silent. You don't need to attack. Just remove your energy. Step back. Let them lose access to your value. Let them feel your absence. That's often more punishing than confrontation. It teaches them that trust is a privilege, not a right. If you're always reacting to betrayal, you're always behind. You need to be ahead. Anticipate. Predict. And when necessary, betray with precision. Quietly end alliances. Cut off access. Secure your assets. Make your move while they're still playing loyal. And always make it costly. Make sure the message is clear. Betrayal against you doesn't come without a price. Let your past alliances know they were never irreplaceable. Your value stays intact with or without them. Chapter 11. The strong do not argue, they decide. Arguing is a waste of time. I learned early on that debates, especially with those in power, rarely lead to anything productive. You can argue endlessly with people in positions of influence, but if your words don't have power, they won't change anything. Instead of getting caught in pointless discussions, I chose to focus on delivering results that speak for themselves. When you achieve greatness, there's no need to explain it. Your actions will make it obvious to everyone around you. It's better to let the outcome of your efforts do the talking. The strongest people don't waste their time trying to convince others of their worth. They prove it. Those who truly understand power know that it doesn't require justification. It commands respect simply through its presence and influence. You must have the confidence to stand firm in your actions and trust that they will speak louder than any argument ever could. The untouchable person does not beg for approval or acknowledgement. They simply carry on and allow their achievements to make the case for them. It's not about convincing others of your value, it's about ensuring that your results speak volumes. Once you understand this principle, you stop looking for validation and start focusing on producing excellence. The moment you stop debating and start acting is the moment your true power is unleashed. In the long run, those who are constantly arguing are often seen as weak, because their need to defend themselves shows insecurity. The untouchable person doesn't need to explain themselves. They just execute their vision with precision and allow the results to stand as undeniable proof of their strength and wisdom. Don't waste your energy on debates that don't move you forward. Choose action instead. Chapter 12. Envy is the tax of ascension, pay it proudly. Envy is an inevitable byproduct of success. When I first started to rise, whispers followed me wherever I went. People who once praised me began to criticize me, and others began to scheme behind my back. But I didn't let it bother me. I understood that envy is simply a sign that you are ahead of the pack. If nobody feels envious of you, then you're not moving forward enough. It's an uncomfortable reality, but it's an important one to embrace. Envy is the price you pay for standing out and achieving things that others cannot. The higher you climb, the more people will try to pull you down. But instead of feeling ashamed or defensive about it, take it as a sign that you're doing something right. Those who are envious of you are simply acknowledging that you are a threat to their position. It's their weakness, not yours. Wear their jealousy like a badge of honor because it means you're playing the game at a level that most can't even comprehend. The untouchable person understands that envy is not something to fear or hide from, it's evidence of your progress. It is a clear indicator that you are walking a path others wish they could walk. The stronger your ascent, the more they will try to tarnish your name, but that only proves you're headed in the right direction. Don't allow their resentment to distract or derail you. Use it to fuel your resolve and continue your journey with confidence. Pay this tax with pride because it confirms that you are on the path to something far greater than what they can understand. Understand that envy is not a reflection of your worth but a sign of how much further you have risen. And as you rise, the envious will continue to whisper and scheme. Let them. They are simply proving to themselves that they cannot reach where you are. Their envy is not a reflection of you, but of them. When you fully accept that envy comes with the territory of greatness, you will wear it like a crown, knowing that every whisper, every jealous glance, confirms that you're on the right track. Chapter 13. Never fight battles that weaken your position. Fighting battles out of ego or frustration is a trap. I've learned the hard way that every confrontation, every argument, and every petty quarrel can drain your energy and resources. The key to preserving your power is in choosing your battles wisely. Not every insult requires a response, and not every challenge demands action. The real power lies in understanding when to fight and when to ignore. I learned to conserve my strength and focus on things that would truly elevate my position. When I did engage in conflict, it was for a purpose, usually to gain more control, expand my influence, or secure my legacy. These were not fights for the sake of pride but for lasting impact. Fighting without strategy weakens your position, and fighting battles that don't add value to your journey is a waste of time. The untouchable person never fights without considering what they stand to gain. They don't waste their energy on trivial matters because they understand that success demands focus and energy. Every action, every decision, every word should be calculated to enhance your standing and reputation. So when a fight comes along, ask yourself if it's worth your time and resources. Will this battle bring you closer to your goals? Will it leave a lasting impression? If the answer is no, then don't waste a single moment on it. Remember, it's about preserving your strength for the right moments, the ones that truly matter in the long run. The untouchable person doesn't fight for recognition or approval, they fight for their vision, their future, and their legacy. It's not about responding to every provocation. It's about being strategic enough to know which fights are worth the investment of your time and energy. Every battle you engage in, no matter how small, costs you something. Your resources, your reputation, your focus, all are drained by unnecessary conflict. The untouchable individual is wise enough to ignore petty quarrels and instead channel their energy into efforts that truly matter. Chapter 14. Surround yourself with the useful, not the familiar. It's easy to fall into the trap of surrounding yourself with people who make you feel comfortable or who have been around for a long time. But familiarity doesn't necessarily breed success. In fact, sometimes it breeds stagnation. I realized that the people I had once relied on, those I considered friends, were actually holding me back. Loyalty is important, but loyalty without substance is a liability. People who are familiar and comfortable are not always the ones who will push you to grow or help you achieve your goals. I had to let go of some relationships not out of malice but out of necessity. I needed thinkers, planners, and doers in my circle. People who were going to challenge me, question my ideas, and keep me moving forward. The untouchable person surrounds themselves with those who reflect their values, goals, and vision. These are people who are not just agreeable but are also capable and competent. They understand the bigger picture and work tirelessly to achieve it. Comfort in relationships can make you complacent, and complacency is the enemy of success. You need people who push you to be better, who help you see things from different angles, and who make you work harder. The right people will challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. They will never let you settle for mediocrity. So, when you choose who to keep close, remember that familiarity doesn't mean usefulness. Seek those who will elevate you, not those who simply make you feel at home. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Surround yourself with those who challenge your thinking, encourage you to stretch beyond your limits, and inspire you to elevate your standards. The untouchable person chooses their companions based on the value they bring, not on nostalgia or past connections. Relationships built on comfort may feel easy, but they do not propel you forward. Those who are truly useful will push you to levels of greatness you never imagined. Chapter 15. Control information, control the outcome. In the courts of Florence, power was not determined by the strength of armies or the wealth of families. It was determined by secrets. Secrets were more powerful than any sword or shield. They could be traded, hoarded, or leaked with precision, and each decision based on them had the potential to shape the future. I learned that controlling information was the key to controlling the outcome of any situation. While others were distracted by fleeting moments, I focused on the long game, carefully cultivating the knowledge that would one day give me the upper hand. Information is not just power, it is a weapon that can shift the balance of power itself. I didn't simply acquire information, I understood how to use it strategically. Some secrets were kept close to my chest, others were shared carefully and selectively. By controlling what others knew, I controlled what they did. This principle is vital. It is not about sharing everything you know, but knowing what to withhold and when to reveal it. An untouchable man remains a vault of silence, knowing that speaking prematurely or revealing too much too soon can be his undoing. Silence is often the loudest message you can send. It is not weakness, it is the power of knowing more than others and acting with precision when the time is right. To control information is to control perception. When you control what others believe to be true, you guide their actions in a direction that benefits you. Untouchable men understand that knowledge, if managed wisely, can create opportunities before others even realize they exist. The world doesn't have to see you coming if you know where the opportunities lie and position yourself accordingly. Speak last in any conversation and you are always in control. By then you've heard everyone's thoughts, their weaknesses and their plans, giving you the knowledge to outmaneuver them. The men who wield this kind of power shape decisions before others even know they're being influenced. To remain untouchable, you must always be several steps ahead of those around you. This means constantly gathering information, analyzing it, and then making the calculated move at the perfect moment. Control over information is a delicate balance, and when done right, it ensures that your influence extends far beyond the present. As the world moves faster, those who master information will always control the outcomes. You are never at the mercy of others when you have knowledge at your disposal. It's not just about learning, it's about knowing what to do with what you learn. In the end, it's not about hoarding information for the sake of knowledge itself. It's about creating outcomes that serve your purpose. The untouchable man understands this truth. He does not need to be the loudest or most obvious player in the room. He simply needs to be the one who controls the narrative from behind the scenes, making the most powerful moves without being seen or heard. Information, when used wisely, becomes the ultimate tool of influence, and with it, you can control the course of any situation and ensure the outcome aligns with your will. Chapter 16. Patience is the weapon of kings. Patience is often misunderstood as weakness or indecisiveness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest strengths a person can possess. While others rush to make their mark, eager to act and prove themselves, I took a different approach. I understood that true power lies in waiting for the right moment to act. The world moves in cycles, and rushing into action before the right time is often more harmful than waiting. It's in those moments of stillness that you gain the clarity to make the most calculated, effective decisions. I didn't waste my energy in needless haste. Instead, I observed, I studied, and I waited. Patience allowed me to understand the full scope of any situation, to learn its nuances, and to act when the timing was perfect. Rushing is not strength, it is fear. Fear of missing out, fear of being left behind, or fear of being overlooked. But the untouchable man has no fear of time. He understands that patience will bring him exactly what he needs when the moment is right. The fruit does not ripen the moment it's picked, it ripens when it's ready. And when it does, the patient man is there to seize it. The ability to wait also allows you to gather resources, whether they are allies, information, or opportunities. Patience is a strategic choice. It is about building power and waiting until the moment arrives to use it effectively. There is strength in waiting for the right time because when you finally act, it is with all the weight of the preparation behind it. The best moves are the ones that seem effortless because they have been planned for so long. The fruit of patience is always sweeter because it has been cultivated with purpose. In a world where impatience and haste are common, the man who knows when to act and when to wait is the one who controls his destiny. The untouchable man is not in a rush to prove himself to others. He knows that time is his ally, and when he moves with undeniable force. Patience is the weapon that allows him to wait for the right opportunity, and when that opportunity arises, he strikes with precision and power. Patience is a skill that cannot be rushed. It must be cultivated over time. It is a lesson in understanding that every moment counts, but not every moment demands action. By embracing patience, you give yourself the chance to make the most of every opportunity and ensure that your rise is not only inevitable but unstoppable. The untouchable man knows that the world is his, but only when the time is right. Chapter 17. Influence without attachment. True influence is not about positioning yourself at the center of every situation or demanding recognition for your efforts. It's about guiding the course of events from the background, unseen but undeniably impactful. I learned early on that by remaining detached from the power I influenced, I could exert far more control than if I had become entangled in the power itself. The untouchable man's strength lies in his ability to shape the world without ever being seen as part of it. He influences without attachment. I never sought the spotlight. Instead, I preferred to advise those who held power, shaping their decisions without becoming a part of their world. I understood that power, when too closely associated with an individual, becomes vulnerable. But when you remain detached, your influence becomes timeless and immune to the whims of others. I didn't need to be at the center of every decision. I needed to be the quiet force that guided those decisions from behind the scenes. Influence is strongest when it is not driven by ego. The more detached you are from your influence, the more powerful it becomes. The untouchable man doesn't need to be celebrated or acknowledged for his role in shaping the world around him. He works silently, moving the pieces on the board while others believe they are the ones making the moves. It's a kind of quiet mastery, being the one who pulls the strings without ever being seen pulling them. This is the essence of true influence. By remaining detached, I also maintain my freedom. I was never bound by the expectations of those I influenced. I was able to make decisions based on logic, strategy, and purpose, rather than emotions or desires for recognition. The untouchable man remains free of attachment, which allows him to navigate any situation without fear of loss or retribution. It's the ultimate form of power, the ability to influence the course of events without ever being caught in the web of the power you shape. In the end, influence without attachment is about understanding the role you play in the grand scheme of things and accepting that your true power lies in your ability to move without being seen. When you influence without attachment, you are in complete control, shaping the world around you while remaining untouched by it. Chapter 18. Legacy is the final fortress. While many seek wealth, fame, or power in their lifetime, I understood that these things are fleeting. They can be lost, taken, or forgotten. What endures, what remains after all else fades, is legacy. Legacy is not about what you accumulate in life, but what you leave behind. The books I wrote, the ideas I shared, and the impact I made all became part of my legacy. Long after my death, my name would still be spoken by those who followed my teachings, and my influence would continue to shape the world. That is the true power of legacy. Building a legacy is not about living for today. It is about creating something that outlives you, something that will continue to influence the world long after you are gone. It is the ultimate form of immortality. I knew that the way to become untouchable was to think beyond my own lifetime, to build works that would stand the test of time and continue to inspire future generations. My legacy would be my fortress, protecting me from the ravages of time, ensuring that I would never be forgotten. What makes a man untouchable is not the riches he acquires in life, but the ideas and works he leaves behind. It's about creating something that will continue to resonate with others, something that will inspire and guide them long after you are gone. Legacy is a fortress because it provides a shield against time, protecting you from the inevitable decay that affects everything else. It ensures that even in death, your influence remains, continuing to shape the world for generations. I didn't build my life around the pursuit of luxury or fleeting pleasures. I built it around the idea of leaving a mark on the world that would never fade. To be untouchable is to create something so enduring, so meaningful, that your legacy continues to influence people long after you are gone. This is how you transcend the limitations of the physical world and become a part of something much larger than yourself. In the end, legacy is the final fortress because it is what endures beyond all else. It is what protects you from the passage of time and ensures that your name and influence live on. The untouchable man understands that true power lies not in what you achieve for yourself, but in what you leave for others. Your legacy is your true testament to greatness. Chapter 19. The world does not reward the good, it rewards the effective. I wasn't the kindest, but I was effective. The world doesn't care about your good intentions, it only cares about your ability to execute. Many people spend their lives hoping, praying, or wishing for things to happen, but the ones who stand out are the ones who do the work. The reality is that the world rewards results, not aspirations. It doesn't matter how much you hope things will improve or how much you wish for better circumstances. What matters is what you do to change your situation. You need to be the person who takes action, who seizes opportunities, and who executes strategies with precision. Action is what separates the successful from the rest of the crowd. It's easy to be kind and compassionate, but that alone doesn't make you stand out in a world that is driven by competition and performance. While kindness can create goodwill, it doesn't guarantee success. The successful people are the ones who take their intentions and turn them into tangible results. While others are waiting for things to align, you need to be the one doing everything possible to make things align. In many ways, being effective means taking risks, learning from failure, and constantly adjusting your approach until you find what works. You can be the nicest person in the room, but if you don't produce results, you will be overlooked. Effectiveness comes from knowing the difference between doing something that feels good versus doing something that drives results. It's easy to do things that make you feel like you're making progress, but progress isn't just about feeling good, it's about moving forward and achieving your goals. To be truly effective, you need to focus on what will create the most significant impact. Your actions must have purpose and intention behind them. Only then will the world recognize and reward you for your efforts. Simply wishing for success isn't enough. You must go out and create it through strategic action. The people who truly stand out are the ones who consistently execute, who do what others are too afraid to do. They don't just talk about what could happen or what might be, they take the steps necessary to make it a reality. While others hope, you need to execute. While others think about how things could be, you need to be the one who makes them happen. In the end, results matter more than anything else. It's not about how good you are, but about how effectively you can turn your skills, your knowledge, and your passion into something tangible. Being untouchable means not just being a passive observer, but being an active participant. You need to create outcomes, take risks, and be willing to execute on your vision. Effectiveness is the driving force behind success, and the ones who understand this are the ones who rise above the rest. Your effectiveness will speak louder than your intentions ever could, and that's what will ultimately get you noticed and rewarded. Focus on what works, not just what feels good, and you will become untouchable. Chapter 20. Untouchable is not a status. It is a strategy. In the end, I wasn't protected by armies. I wasn't saved by friends or by external forces. I was preserved by insight, strategy, and will. Being untouchable isn't something that happens by accident. It is something you create. It's a mindset, a series of calculated decisions made over time. The truth is, the most powerful people in this world aren't those with the biggest armies or the most friends. They're the ones who can think strategically and navigate the complexities of life with clarity and foresight. They understand that to be untouchable, you must build yourself up step by step, action by action, and decision by decision. Untouchability is a mindset. It's about creating a level of resilience and strength that cannot be shaken by external forces. When you have insight into the world around you and understand the dynamics of power, you can craft strategies that keep you safe no matter what happens. The world will try to break you down with chaos, with betrayal, and with fear, but if you're strategic, you can rise above it all. Every choice you make can either bring you closer to untouchability or take you further away from it. That's why you must remain intentional in every action you take. Building untouchability is like constructing a fortress, brick by brick, word by word, and decision by decision. It's about being prepared for every battle, knowing that no external force will protect you. Only your insight, your strategy, and your resilience will determine your ability to rise above the challenges you face. You must be prepared to walk alone at times, to rely on yourself, and to trust your instincts. People may betray you, situations may turn against you, but if you have the right mindset and strategy, you'll always find a way out. If you want to rise above betrayal, chaos, and fear, you must learn to operate from a place of inner strength. This means being able to withstand the pressure, to think clearly in times of uncertainty, and to make decisions that will protect you in the long run. You must stop reacting to every external threat and start shaping your own reality. Silence becomes your weapon. It allows you to observe, to plan, and to act when the time is right. Untouchable isn't about avoiding the difficulties of the world, it's about facing them with clarity and control. Untouchability is not about invulnerability, it's about control. It's about becoming the kind of person who is never truly affected by external events because you've created an inner strength and strategy that makes you unshakable. It's about understanding that you don't need the support of others to survive. You can create your own path and ensure that no one can touch you. And that is how you become untouchable. Not through external protection, but by building an unassailable foundation from within. Chapter 21. Understand the value of reputation. In my time, reputation was a weapon. It wasn't just about how others saw you in the moment, it was about how they would perceive you when you weren't around, when you weren't there to defend yourself. Reputation was a shield that protected you from enemies and a tool that opened doors for you in the future. A good name could allow you to move freely, to operate with confidence, and to gain trust without having to constantly prove yourself. People made judgments based on your reputation before they ever met you, and that judgment often determined your success or failure in life. However, reputation isn't something that can be taken for granted. The moment your reputation is tarnished, it can take years to rebuild. And even then, it may never fully recover. In a world driven by perception, a damaged reputation is often just as damaging as any physical wound. People are quick to believe rumors, to buy into lies and distortions, but slow to accept the truth, especially when that truth contradicts the narrative they've been told. That's why it's so important to guard your reputation with everything you have. It's not just a reflection of who you are, it's the armor that protects you in every battle. To maintain a good reputation, you must be strategic in your actions and words. Every interaction, every decision, every word spoken builds or damages your reputation. You must be conscious of how others perceive you and ensure that their perceptions align with your true intentions. A reputation built on lies or misunderstandings can be just as harmful as one built on genuine mistakes. That's why, when enemies attack, you must ensure that they attack rumors, not truths. Rumors can be manipulated, twisted, and disproven, while the truth has the power to expose everything. It's much harder to defend the truth when people already have an established narrative in their minds. Your reputation acts as your first line of defense. When others seek to tear you down, it's your reputation that will protect you. It's the shield that makes people think twice before attacking you, because they know that attacking your reputation could backfire. People may not always believe the truth, but they will hesitate to attack someone who is widely respected and whose reputation precedes them. In this sense, your reputation is like armor, protecting you from harm and ensuring that you can move through the world with relative safety. In the end, your reputation is not just a reflection of who you are, but also a reflection of how you navigate the world. It's a reflection of your ability to maintain control over your image, to shape the perceptions of others, and to ensure that your actions are consistent with the values you want to project. Guard it fiercely, because once it's damaged, it can take years, if not a lifetime, to rebuild. A strong reputation is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and it's worth every effort to protect and preserve. Chapter 22. Never rely on kindness alone. I saw many great men fall, not because they lacked strength or intelligence, but because they relied too heavily on kindness to protect them. Kindness is a virtue. It can win hearts, build relationships, and open doors. But it is not enough to sustain you in a world that is often cruel and unforgiving. The truth is, kindness alone does not protect against betrayal, envy, or the ruthless ambition of others. People will take advantage of your kindness if they sense that you're vulnerable. It can be used against you, twisted into a tool for manipulation. You must recognize that kindness can win you friends, but it can also put you at risk if it's not tempered with strength. Many great men I knew believed that if they were kind, others would reciprocate with loyalty and trust. They believed that kindness was enough to shield them from harm, but they were wrong. Kindness is a tool, a powerful one, but still just a tool. It should never be relied upon as your primary defense. In a world where people are driven by self-interest, kindness can quickly become a weakness if it is not backed by strength. The world operates on power, not goodwill. To truly protect yourself, you need to combine kindness with the ability to control your environment, your actions, and the people around you. Kindness should never be mistaken for weakness, but it can be perceived that way if you're not careful. You must maintain a delicate balance between being generous and maintaining control. People will take advantage of you if they sense that you're not strong enough to defend yourself. That's why it's important to surround yourself with people who understand that your kindness is a strategic choice, not a sign of weakness. You must be aware of those who will seek to exploit your goodwill, and ensure that you're never left vulnerable because of it. The key to navigating the world is knowing when to be kind and when to assert your power. Kindness can win hearts, but it's power that will secure your position and protect you from harm. If you rely too heavily on kindness, you may find yourself exploited and betrayed when you least expect it. The world will test you, and it will not hesitate to take advantage of your goodwill if you let it. You must always maintain the balance between being generous and being strategic. Kindness can win you many things, but it will not protect you from the darker aspects of the world. The true strength lies in knowing how to use your kindness strategically, in knowing when to be generous and when to assert your power. Only then will you be able to navigate the world effectively and ensure that your kindness doesn't become a vulnerability. In the end, kindness should be one of your tools, not your only defense. Never rely on it alone, for it can easily be used against you. Chapter 23. Use the power of fear wisely. Fear, when applied correctly, becomes an invisible shield. It does not require you to be loud or violent, it simply requires presence. People should second-guess whether crossing you is worth the consequences. You don't need to threaten them outright, the implication alone should be enough. When others perceive you as capable of doing something severe, even if you never have, they'll think twice before testing you. This kind of fear builds over time through consistency and unpredictability. You don't announce it. You demonstrate it through firm boundaries, swift responses, and a refusal to tolerate disrespect. Fear must always be calculated. If you push people too far, they will unite against you. Desperation creates martyrs. But if you instill just enough fear to make people uncomfortable stepping out of line, they will often self-regulate. It is also critical to understand whom to instill fear in and whom to inspire. Treat everyone with fear, and you'll find yourself alone when it matters. Treat key players with calculated restraint, and they'll follow out of respect, not just intimidation. Never confuse fear with cruelty. Cruelty is a short-term strategy that weakens your position over time. Fear is sustainable only when there is restraint. You should be feared not because you lash out without reason, but because when you act, it's decisive, justified, and final. This kind of power comes from reputation, not emotional outbursts. Be cold when necessary, but always in control. One final rule: don't fear becoming feared. People often sabotage themselves trying to be liked. Approval is not the same as power. If people like you but do not fear disappointing or betraying you, you have no influence. Learn to be comfortable with being misunderstood. Not everyone will see the method behind your behavior. They're not meant to. What matters is that they respond to it. Chapter 24. The importance of adaptability. Rigid people break. That's the simple truth I had to learn. In the beginning, I thought sticking to one set of values would earn me respect. It didn't. It made me predictable and easy to manipulate. Power doesn't reward consistency, it rewards responsiveness. Situations change, people change, power shifts. The ability to move with these currents rather than against them is what sets survivors apart from the casualties of history. Adaptability doesn't mean weakness. It means recalibrating your approach to win. You don't owe anyone the version of yourself you used to be. What worked 5 years ago may now be irrelevant. If you cling to your old identity, your enemies will learn your patterns and beat you with your own tactics. Change before they expect it. Reinvent yourself so often that others can't place you in a box. Even your closest allies will shift their positions depending on what benefits them. If you're too stubborn to shift with them, they will leave you behind. That's the nature of power. It's fluid, never static. Adaptability is about survival, not compromise. It's about keeping your core intact while changing your methods. Don't mistake movement for loss of values. You're not giving up who you are, you're choosing how to express that identity in a way that wins. The most dangerous people are those who appear the same, but internally evolve constantly. You must become this person. Learn new skills. Read the changes in the political or social climate. Anticipate the next threat. Outgrow old strategies without fanfare. Let others see you as dependable while secretly transforming into a more dangerous version of yourself. This is how you stay 2 steps ahead. Lastly, know that adaptability is not just tactical, it's psychological. You must train your mind to detach from your own ego. You'll be forced to abandon things you once cared about deeply. Don't mourn those losses. Celebrate your ability to evolve. The moment you resist change, you hand your enemies the weapon they've been waiting for: predictability. Chapter 25. Control the narrative. Controlling the narrative isn't just about public image, it's about survival. Perception always outweighs truth in any conflict, negotiation, or leadership position. People believe what they're told repeatedly and with confidence. If you don't tell your story, someone else will, and they'll weaponize it against you. From day one, make it your job to own the version of you that the world sees. It begins with consistency. What you say, how you say it, and when you say it matters. Avoid over-explaining. Say only what needs to be said, then say it again through others. Control your mouth, but also control the mouths around you. Allies who speak on your behalf should always be echoing your version of events, never creating their own. Every word you put out must serve a purpose. Clarify your position, distract from a weakness, or strengthen your authority. Silence is a narrative too. Sometimes, the most powerful move is to say nothing, forcing others to guess your intentions. Mystery is one of the most underused narrative tools. Let people fill in the blanks with fear or admiration, but never with pity. Document everything. If you don't write your legacy, someone will rewrite it. In politics, in business, even in your personal life, people only remember the story told the most and told with conviction. Create a history that reflects your power and control, not your mistakes or missteps. If those missteps ever surface, frame them as part of your strategy. Never let your failures define you. Repackage them as calculated sacrifices. Make sure your enemies are always reacting to your story. Flood the environment with your version of reality. People trust repetition, not accuracy. Learn media, influence, rhetoric. This isn't about lying, it's about structure. Even the truth needs architecture. Without it, it collapses under competing interpretations. Remember this: if the story isn't working for you, rewrite it. You're not bound to past versions of yourself. Update the public's image of you as often as needed. They'll follow the dominant voice. Make sure that voice is yours. Chapter 26. Strategic alliances are essential. You can't win alone. Not in politics, not in life, not in any game that involves power. The myth of the lone genius or the untouchable individualist is just that, a myth. I learned this early. If you want to rise, stay in power, or defend your position, you need alliances. But don't confuse alliances with friendship. The two rarely overlap. Your alliances are based on needs, leverage, and timing. You must learn to identify who brings value to your objectives. Don't align with people out of sentiment. Align with those who increase your reach, strengthen your weaknesses, or protect your blind spots. Relationships must be assessed constantly. What someone offered you a year ago may no longer be useful. Adapt accordingly. When forming alliances, always remain the one with the leverage. Never put yourself in a position where you need the other more than they need you. If you're the weaker link, you're disposable. Maintain a balance where both sides benefit, but you retain the upper hand. That way, if you have to walk away, it doesn't cost you your position. Don't reveal your full plans to allies. Give them just enough to keep them committed, but never enough to outmaneuver you. Even allies can become threats. If you show too many of your cards, they'll play you. Keep key pieces of your strategy private, even from those closest to you. Be prepared to cut ties quickly and cleanly. When an alliance stops serving your goals, don't hesitate. Emotion has no place here. End things before loyalty turns into liability. Do it without malice. Just business. People will respect you more for being clear and disciplined. Build alliances in layers. Have visible allies and hidden ones. Sometimes the most powerful support is the one no one sees coming. Develop relationships in the background that you can call on in emergencies. Diversify your support systems like you would an investment portfolio. At all times, remember, alliances are leverage. Use them to negotiate better, strike harder, and protect your position. But never depend on them fully. You must always be able to stand alone if needed. Chapter 27. The Art of Distraction. Distraction is not a trick, it's a discipline. In any power game, attention is currency. If you can control where others are looking, you can dictate what they miss. I learned that most people are easily led by emotion and noise. When you offer them something dramatic or urgent to focus on, they will rarely stop to ask what's really going on. That's the opening you need. Distraction works best when it feels like revelation. Give people a partial truth that draws them in. Let them believe they've uncovered something important. Meanwhile, your true objective moves forward unnoticed. This isn't deception. It's orchestration. You're guiding the flow of attention like a conductor guides an orchestra. Every glance, every reaction, every whisper, all playing into your hands. Use timing to your advantage. If something threatens your reputation, quickly introduce a bigger, unrelated issue. People can only focus on one crisis at a time. If you make that crisis seem urgent or scandalous enough, your real issue fades into the background. It's not about hiding facts, it's about redirecting focus. You must also master the use of symbols and emotional triggers. People react more to symbols than logic. A well-placed phrase, a deliberate gesture, or a controversial opinion can occupy people's minds far longer than a detailed plan. While they argue, analyze, or celebrate, your actual moves remain untouched. This tactic requires preparation. You can't improvise good distraction consistently. Plan layers. Plan noise. Plan misinformation if necessary, but be careful. Lies can unravel. The best distractions are rooted in partial truth. They're believable. They don't need to be maintained forever, just long enough to complete your real goal. Control the stage. If you allow others to set the agenda, you lose your grip. Keep them dancing to the music you compose. And never forget, while they're watching the fireworks, you're already gone with the prize. Chapter 28. Know when to retreat. Power is not always about forward motion. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is stepping back. I learned that early in life, though it took time to truly understand. Society trains us to believe that backing down equals weakness, but in reality, it's a form of elite strategy. When you learn the art of retreat, you begin to move in silence and strength, not in desperation. There are moments when everything in you wants to fight, to prove a point, or to force a breakthrough. But power is not won by brute force. It's preserved by knowing when the terrain is no longer in your favor. Retreat gives you time. Time to analyze. Time to recalibrate. Time to return stronger. The man who knows when to disappear becomes the man who controls when to reappear. I've seen many men, ruthless and talented, burn themselves out because they didn't know when to walk away. They stayed in battles that drained their spirit and exposed their weaknesses. They let pride override precision. And pride is a terrible commander. It leads you straight into traps set by quieter, more patient minds. I learned that stepping away is not failure. It's a repositioning of force. Sometimes the loudest move is silence. The most aggressive action is inaction. Let people wonder what you're planning. Let them think you're finished while you're simply gathering your fire in secret. Even in the jungle, the lion crouches before it pounces. Every retreat is a potential ambush in disguise. Don't fear vanishing. Fear being predictable. Control the timing of your moves. That's where real power hides. The one who knows when to retreat doesn't lose, he waits. And when he returns, he does so with precision, force, and results. You don't have to fight every war, just the ones that matter. That's how you survive the game. That's how you win the long war. Chapter 29. Never reveal everything. Revealing everything about yourself is the fastest way to give your enemies ammunition. I don't care how much you trust someone, there are parts of your mind, your plans, your motives that should stay locked away. Most people expose themselves because they're hungry for connection or validation. But in the world of power, mystery is your shield. When people know everything about you, they can start predicting you. And once they can predict you, they can manipulate you. I've had friends turn into enemies simply because they learned too much about how I operate. They didn't just know my strengths, they knew my patterns, my weaknesses, my tendencies. That's dangerous. That's how you get outmaneuvered. Instead, I learned to give just enough. I let people feel close, but they were only seeing reflections, never the source. Speak in riddles when needed. Share selectively. Keep your next move silent, even from those who walk beside you. Make them wonder. The moment they can't read you, they lose control of you. Your silence builds suspense. Your mystery commands respect. When people can't define you, they imagine you. And in their imagination, you become bigger than life. You become unpredictable, and unpredictability is terrifying. Even in love, even in business, even in family, protect your private core. That's your throne room. No one gets access to that without consequence. Let others exhaust themselves by being open books. You, on the other hand, should be a coded manuscript. The less people understand, the more they fear crossing you. Keep your aces hidden. Stay unreadable. Speak with action, not confession. Secrets are sacred, not because you're afraid, but because power lies in what is unseen. Chapter 30. Emotion is a weapon, use it sparingly. Emotion is the rawest form of human power, but it's also the most dangerous if misused. I've watched great men fall apart because they let their emotions dictate their strategy. I refuse to become one of them. Instead, I studied my emotions like tools in a box, each one useful in the right moment but deadly if used blindly. Most people react without thought. They get angry, they cry, they explode, they withdraw, and every time they do, they leak power. Why? Because emotion makes you predictable. The more you react, the easier it is to trigger you. And if I can trigger you, I can control you. That's why I trained myself to feel everything, but show almost nothing. I didn't eliminate my emotions. I elevated them. Rage became focus. Sadness became reflection. Joy became presence. I used my emotions to create momentum, not chaos. In business meetings, I would smile to disarm. In negotiations, I would show controlled frustration to pressure. In conflict, I would remain still while others flailed. My calmness became intimidation. Let others mistake you for emotionless. That's your edge. They won't see the storm you're harnessing beneath the surface. When you learn to carry fire without burning everything around you, you become a master of the game. You don't swing your emotional sword wildly, you strike with it only when the result is lethal. In this world, the one who controls emotion controls the room. Use your passion sparingly. Show vulnerability only as a trap. Don't suppress your feelings, learn to steer them. Power isn't about being cold, it's about being controlled. Let your emotions fuel you, not expose you. That's the mark of the untouchable.